Hello, creators. Here's the scoop on our in-person retreat schedule for 2026. Our next in-person retreat will take place on September 22nd through 25th, 2026. We will open early bird registration in 2025, so be on the lookout for that. You can learn more about the retreat and which track will be the right fit for you by heading to wellnesscentercreators.com/retreats. And feel free to email me directly at kendall@wellnesscentercreators.com with any questions. Today's episode is sponsored by Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. Waiting on hold isn't anyone's idea of time well spent, especially when you're busy providing exceptional care to your patients and clients and running your clinic. The Jane team knows how valuable your time is. That's why they work hard to keep call wait times to an average of 2 minutes. This means you can get quick answers to your clinic questions and head into your weekend with one less task on your to-do list. Plus, unlimited phone, email, and live chat support from their team of friendly humans is included in every Jane subscription. So, no matter where you're at on your Jane journey, they're always there to lend a hand. To see how Jane can help you take back your personal time, head to jane.app to book a one-on-one demo, or use the code wellness1mo at sign-up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagensen.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. And today we are going to be discussing something that Kendall is very excited about. She's just done a webinar with our friend Josh from Trust Driven Care, and they have been discussing the book. What's it called? Unreasonable Hospitality.
Unreasonable Hospitality. Yes.
So Kendall,
I'm jazzed about this. I'm so jazzed about this. So, if you haven't read this book or listened to it on audio, I actually recommend listening to it because the author reads it on audiobook, and it's fun to see how excited he is about his business and creation and development. So I really enjoyed the audiobook. The author is Will Guidera, I think is how you say his last name, and it's called Unreasonable Hospitality. So when I was listening to this book, the whole time I was thinking, oh my gosh, yes, this is what we do in our clinic. This relates to healthcare. This is so exciting. Also, this guy is super trauma informed and he doesn't even know that he's doing trauma informed practices. This is so exciting. And everyone in healthcare should listen to this book or read this book. So the basic idea of the book is, how do we give people more than they expect every time they interact with our company? Mm-hmm. And I would say that most alternative healthcare providers and holistic providers generally have this approach anyway. Right. And this general mindset, right? Of like, well, we're going to spend more time with our clients. We're going to listen to them. We're going to think of them as whole people, right? That's the basic foundation. But where his principles take it is like, okay, that's wonderful. And how do we consider every aspect of the company and the client journey and the physical space and all of the patient communication in this process, and create moments where patients are delighted? And
This sounds very much like Josh and Trust Driven Care, sort of going above and beyond, isn't
exactly,
it? It's all
it's
about
above and
trying to.
it's above and beyond. And that's really
Mhm,
what trust driven care is all about, is building trust with patients through communication.
mhm.
And one of my favorite stories in this book, so it's a restaurant in New York City. Will, he is like the front of house, in charge of front of house. So like the staff and the customer dining experience. And then his partner is in charge of the kitchen, right? So they work together on all these things, but it's in New York City. And there are a couple stories that stand out, right? One is they realized, okay, what is the customer dealing with when they come in? Well, they're dealing with parking on the street in New York City, which is a nightmare. And then they have to go put in money every hour. So they decide when the person checks in, they're going to ask them, where did they park? And, if I can grab your information about your car, we're going to go ahead and feed your meter for you every 55 minutes. Cost 75 cents. And the customer is delighted, right? The other story that sticks out from the book is they had like a full amount of people in the restaurant dining, and it starts snowing, like really snowing. And they decide they are going to, like, it's like really snowing, like people are not going to be able to leave. So they decide they're going to get Ubers to come. And then they go buy some sleds from the store down the street. They get some hot chocolate, and they take all their customers up to go sledding with hot chocolate.
What? They go sledding down the street?
No, I don't know. They took them up somewhere on a hill. I don't know New York geography, I'm going to be honest. But it's those types of things where in the moment they think, well, how could we make this even better for the people who are at our business right now?
Mm.
And it's about giving people more than they expect. It's about considering the person who's coming to your business, really considering them as a whole person,
Mhm.
right? And how could you elevate their experience? How can you make their day even better with a little tiny touch, right? We have a variety of ways we do this in our clinic, and so do you. But you haven't read the book yet, Anna. So I'm curious from your perspective, what do you want to know about this?
What, the book?
Or the general principle, right? Like,
Well, I mean, it's obvious how that easily translates to healthcare,
right.
because that trust is so important from the moment that the potential customer, client,
Mm-hmm.
patient touches your business, to making an appointment, to coming in the front door, to leaving after the first treatment, and
Mm-hmm.
possibly coming back to the business.
Yeah.
Um, there are so many ways. Naomi, my marketing person, she's always trying to get me to think beyond the initial treatment. She says that, it really starts a long time before then that
Oh,
you start to
1000%.
have that interaction. And how can you make it special?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to listen to it,
I think
especially the funny stories.
you'll love it. Yeah, he has some good stories. And my favorite part about this idea is, it absolutely applies to how we lead and how the culture we create for our teams. And what is so cool about being in alternative healthcare and being in these small businesses is that we actually have the opportunity to build cultures that are super special and different and unique and lovely, which is harder to do on a larger scale.
I love that. I love that positive take, because with in full in full disclosure, I'm struggling with that bit right now, Kendall, in my business. I feel that as small business owners, we do have that opportunity, and sometimes I feel that we go above and beyond all the time, and
Mhm.
sometimes that isn't recognized. And how do you get to the point where there's value, that what you're offering as a business leader is valuable to the
Mhm.
employee? And that's really the needle to thread, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, to,
It's tough, right? Because there's a lot of things that we take on and do for and with the team that, we're not going to have reciprocated and we're not going to have appreciated. And there's a category for that, right? But I also think there's a category for modeling and showing like, this is what we value here. Going
Mhm.
above and beyond for our teammates is what we value. And if we do that enough and, in enough different ways, we start to see our team members doing that and modeling that to other new team members. And an example from recently, unfortunately, we had one of our providers broke their hand, and they are
Oh,
a
that's
massage
right.
therapist. And so they're going to be out for a while. And of course, our team, like, this is what we do. We get together and we figure out, well, how can we support this person? Because they can't drive and they could really use some help with meals. And so we're going to make them some food. And guess who stepped up to gather up all the food from the clinic and drive it out? This provider lives actually quite a far away. And but our massage team lead steps up and says, I would like to gather up all the food and drive it to her home
Oh, that's
on
lovely.
my day off. And I messaged her. I mean, I've told her in person too, but I told her today because today was the pickup day and drop off day of the food. And I said, this is what great leaders do.
Hmm.
I said, considering your team that you're leading and going above and beyond and doing things like this is what great leaders do.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's encouraging her as a team lead because she's learning how do I step into this role to be a lead of this modality team.
Is she
And
a new team lead?
she's been a team lead for 2 years,
Okay.
and that the massage team has grown over those 2 years. It used to be just her, and then now she's leading others, and but doesn't have a lot of past experience in that type of role. So she's asking for, tangible things, tangible education. How can I do this differently? How can I make sure this is valuable, right? And she's
Hmm.
asking for that because she sees our leadership in our company doing that,
Hmm.
right? And so I think there's also room for, it doesn't necessarily have to be reciprocated in that way all the time. Like, I did this for you, so you're going to do this
Right.
for me. It's, this is what we value. And I'm going to keep showing up and showing you that I'm going to go above and beyond for you as an
Hmm.
individual and as a team,
Hmm.
because it matters, because you matter, and the care you're giving to the patient matters. And so then it's that ripple down effect of, okay, well, now each team member is going to go above and beyond for their patients, and they're going to go above and beyond for their team members. And it doesn't always happen that way, right? Depending on the makeup of the team and dynamic of the team at that time. But it's so beautiful when it does.
Yes. Now, I know you've been giving some of your leaders leadership training, or giving them some
Yes.
more in-depth
Hmm.
training. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. We decided in this quarter, we have kind of enough people on each modality team right now, and really solid team leads in place, where we felt like what we want to focus on in this quarter going forward is really some tangible leadership education,
Mm.
that is more formalized. And so the way we do that, we have our team leads meet all together once a month. And so we're started incorporating some education around, well, this is our philosophy to leadership. This is how we, came to that philosophy. This is what matters, in alignment with the company, but also how do we help you hone in your own leadership style, right? Because you don't have to be a clone of me, but we do, want to make sure we stay within the values of the company. And a lot of it comes down to slowing down and viewing their people that they're leading as whole people, and how can they help them reach their goals as a clinician, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about asking those questions. So we're going over things like the 7 coaching questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wants to know what those are, you can email me. But it's, how do you structure a meeting effectively?
Mm-hmm.
How do you have an effective meeting that people find valuable and want to come back to the next one, right? Like, how do you value everyone's time? So we're doing some tangible things like that, and some self-discovery of like, who are you as a leader?
Okay. Do you have an ethos, or do you have a blueprint from which you're teaching your leaders?
Yeah, I mean, number one, we always come from collaboration. So we're always make room for collaboration. That is foundationally what Vancouver Wellness Studio is and what we're about and what we care about. So that's number one. How can you collaborate with the people that you're leading? And then, top 5 values wise, right? We always celebrate diversity on our team. We walk the wellness walk. So if you're going to tell the person that you're leading that they need to take better care of themselves because they're burning out and they're not taking a lunch break, but then they're looking at your schedule and you're not taking a lunch break, that's not what we do, right? We model first. We're going to take a lunch break. We're going to make sure we're nourishing ourselves. We're going to go outside and take a deep breath. So those types of things. And always being patient-centered. And what that comes into in leadership is like, it's being person-centered. It's strengths-based. It's let's celebrate the strengths. Let's invite collaboration with challenges.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's interesting stuff.
I'm excited to talk to you after you listen to it. Listen to the book.
Oh, yes. I've forgotten we were talking about the book originally.
we got a little off track. But I will just say, as we close, that the reason why I was doing this webinar with Josh this morning is because software and technology actually has a huge place in creating this elevated hospitality experience in our businesses.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And without it, right, it's like we can go above and beyond all day and try to be on the phone and do things in person. It's like there is a threshold of capacity for human beings, right? And so these softwares and technology, it really is so important and amazing that we have this at our fingertips. And I've said, since we found Trust Driven Care and Jane, if I could have had those two in combination when I first opened our company, it would have saved me, first of all, a lot of money, but a lot of stress and heartache, and just, it would have been easier.
Well, not only that, Kendall, but what I'm learning is I would have thought about things differently.
Yes.
It's a real switch in mindset. And you become a lot more process oriented in a way. You think about these different touch points in every interaction. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. We could do a whole episode on like how to utilize the features in those softwares, like to create the result that you want, right? In this patient experience. We could do a whole episode on that. But we have codes that people can get discounts for, by now everyone knows about Jane, but for Trust Driven Care too, where you have a code where you can get a discount on your first couple months. And so we'll put that in the show notes. And if you want more information, you can always email me at kendall@wellnesscentercreators.com.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Anna. See you next time.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in to the Wellness Center Creators podcast. We hope you found this episode informative and valuable.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a rating and review. Your support helps us reach more health and wellness professionals like you.
For additional resources, show notes, and more episodes, visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com.
We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts, experiences, and questions. Feel free to reach out to us through our website or social media channels.
Once again, thank you for listening. We appreciate your dedication to providing exceptional patient care.
Join us next time as we continue exploring the world of wellness center creation. Until then, take care and keep making a difference.
Thanks for listening to the Wellness Center Creators podcast.